The humid Seoul air hung heavy, thick with the scent of exhaust fumes and blooming cherry blossoms. Lee Min-ho, shielded by oversized sunglasses and a baseball cap, hurried from his black SUV into the opulent Grand Hyatt Seoul. Paparazzi flashes momentarily blinded him, a familiar, yet always unsettling, experience. He gave a curt nod to his security detail, two hulking figures who efficiently cleared a path through the throng of starstruck tourists. He was exhausted. Weeks of relentless filming for his latest drama, a historical epic, had taken their toll. All he craved was the anonymity of his suite, a hot shower, and perhaps a quiet evening catching up on scripts. As he approached the elevators, a young boy, no older than 12, darted out from behind a potted palm. He nearly collided with Min-ho, who instinctively reached out to steady him. "Sorry, sir," the boy exclaimed, his voice surprisingly deep for his age. He wore a slightly oversized uniform, the kind typically worn by housekeeping staff at the hotel. Min-ho, ever conscious of his public image, managed a weary smile. "It's all right. Just be careful." Then, the boy did something unexpected. He looked directly at Min-ho, his eyes bright and intelligent, and said, with unwavering confidence, "I speak 9 languages." Min-ho, caught off guard, chuckled. It was an involuntary reaction, a mixture of amusement and disbelief. 9 languages? Really? And what are they? The boy didn't flinch. Korean, English, Mandarin, Japanese, Spanish, French, German, Russian, and Portuguese. He rattled them off with practiced ease. Min-ho, now genuinely intrigued, raised an eyebrow. "That's quite a list. And you're a housekeeper's son?" The boy nodded. "My mother works here. I help her sometimes after school." Before Min-ho could respond, his security detail, sensing a potential disruption, moved in. "Sir, we need to go." Min-ho hesitated, then gave a dismissive wave. "It's all right, I'm just talking to this young man." He turned back to the boy. "What's your name?" "Kim Jin-woo, sir." "Jin-woo," Min-ho repeated, the name feeling surprisingly familiar on his tongue. "Well, Jin-woo, that's impressive. Keep up the good work." He winked and, with a final nod, allowed his security to usher him into the elevator. As the doors closed, Min-ho couldn't shake the image of the boy's earnest face. 9 languages? It seemed improbable, almost absurd. Yet, there was something about Jin-woo's demeanor, a quiet confidence, that resonated with him. He spent the rest of the evening mulling over the encounter. He tried to dismiss it as a fleeting moment of amusement, but the boy's words kept echoing in his mind. He found himself wondering about Jin-woo's story, his motivations, and how a child from such humble beginnings could possess such an extraordinary skill. The next day, Min-ho found himself unconsciously drawn back to the lobby. He scanned the area, hoping to catch another glimpse of Jin-woo. After a while, he spotted him, diligently polishing a brass railing near the concierge desk. He approached Jin-woo cautiously. "Hello again, Jin-woo." Jin-woo looked up, a flicker of surprise in his eyes. "Sir." "Good afternoon." He straightened up, his posture ramrod straight. "I was wondering," Min-ho began, "if you could prove it." Jin-woo's eyes widened slightly. "Prove it, sir?" "Yes. Show me you speak these languages." A small smile played on Jin-woo's lips. "How would you like me to do that, sir?" Min-ho thought for a moment. "Let's start with something simple. Greet me in each language." And so, Jin-woo began. He greeted Min-ho in Korean, then smoothly transitioned to English, Mandarin, Japanese, Spanish, French, German, Russian, and finally, Portuguese. His pronunciation was impeccable, his intonation natural. Min-ho, who had traveled extensively and picked up a smattering of several languages, was genuinely impressed. He then asked Jinwoo to translate a short paragraph from a Korean newspaper into English, then into French. Jinwoo performed the task flawlessly, demonstrating not only linguistic proficiency but also a remarkable understanding of grammar and syntax. Minho was astounded. This wasn't just rote memorization, this was genuine fluency. "Where did you learn all of this?" Minho asked, his voice filled with genuine curiosity. Jinwoo shrugged. "From books, sir. From the internet. From talking to people. My mother always encouraged me to learn." He explained that he had access to the hotel's library, which contained books in various languages. He also spent hours online, watching videos and practicing with language exchange partners. He'd even befriended some of the hotel guests who spoke different languages, engaging them in conversations whenever he had the opportunity. Minho was deeply moved by Jinwoo's story. He saw in him a reflection of his own early struggles, the relentless dedication and unwavering determination required to achieve success. He remembered the countless hours he had spent honing his acting skills, the sacrifices he had made to pursue his dream. He spent the next few days getting to know Jinwoo better. He learned about his aspirations, his dreams of attending a prestigious international school, and his desire to use his linguistic abilities to make a positive impact on the world. He also learned about the challenges Jinwoo faced. His mother worked tirelessly to provide for him, but they struggled to make ends meet. Jinwoo's education was a constant source of worry, as they couldn't afford the tuition fees for a specialized language program. Minho felt a growing sense of responsibility towards Jinwoo. He recognized the boy's extraordinary potential and believed that he deserved a chance to reach his full potential. He decided to take Jinwoo under his wing, to become his mentor and guide. He started by arranging for Jinwoo to receive private tutoring from some of the best language instructors in Seoul. He also introduced him to influential people in the entertainment industry, hoping to open doors for him in the future. He even contacted his own foundation, which supported underprivileged children, and arranged for Jinwoo to receive a scholarship to a top international school. Jinwoo thrived under Minho's guidance. He excelled in his studies, quickly mastering new languages and developing a keen interest in international relations. He also blossomed as a person, gaining confidence and developing a strong sense of self-worth. Minho, in turn, found renewed purpose in his own life. He realized that his success wasn't just about fame and fortune, it was about using his platform to make a difference in the lives of others. He found immense satisfaction in helping Jinwoo achieve his dreams, knowing that he was contributing to a brighter future for the young boy. However, their relationship didn't go unnoticed. The media, always eager for a sensational story, picked up on the unlikely friendship between the famous actor and the housekeeper's son. Tabloids ran headlines speculating about Minho's motives, some even suggesting that he was exploiting Jinwoo for publicity. The pressure mounted on both Minho and Jinwoo. Jinwoo, overwhelmed by the attention, started to withdraw, becoming increasingly anxious and self-conscious. Minho, frustrated by the media scrutiny, struggled to protect Jinwoo from the negativity. One evening, Jinwoo confided in Minho, telling him that he couldn't handle the pressure anymore. He felt like he was living in a fishbowl, constantly being watched and judged. He even considered dropping out of school, believing that it would be better to return to his old life. Minho listened patiently, his heart aching for the young boy. He understood the burden that Jinwoo was carrying, the weight of expectations that had been thrust upon him. He decided to take a step back, to shield Jinwoo from the media frenzy. He stopped making public appearances with him and encouraged him to focus on his studies. He also arranged for Jinwoo to receive counseling, to help him cope with the stress and anxiety. Slowly but surely, Jinwoo began to heal. He learned to navigate the challenges of his new life, to embrace the opportunities that had been presented to him, and to ignore the negativity that surrounded him. He continued to excel in his studies, eventually graduating at the top of his class. He was accepted into a prestigious university, where he majored in international relations and languages. Years later, Jinwoo stood before the United Nations, addressing the General Assembly in fluent Korean, English, French, and Spanish. He spoke passionately about the importance of education, the power of language, and the need for global cooperation. In the audience, Min-ho watched with pride, a tear rolling down his cheek. He had come full circle, from a skeptical actor who had initially laughed at the housekeeper's son's audacious claim, to a proud mentor who had witnessed the boy's transformation into a global leader. After Jinwoo's speech, Min-ho approached him, his heart overflowing with emotion. "You did it, Jinwoo," he said, his voice choked with emotion. "You really did it." Jinwoo smiled, his eyes shining with gratitude. "I couldn't have done it without you, sir. You believed in me when no one else did." He paused, then added, "And you taught me that true success isn't just about achieving personal goals, it's about using your abilities to make a positive impact on the world." Min-ho nodded, his heart swelling with pride. He had learned a valuable lesson from Jinwoo as well, that sometimes, the greatest rewards come from the most unexpected places, and that even a chance encounter with a housekeeper's son can change your life forever. The encounter, which started with a laugh, had blossomed into a profound and transformative relationship, proving that potential can be found in the most unlikely of places, and that kindness and belief can unlock unimaginable possibilities. It was a testament to the power of human connection, the importance of mentorship, and the enduring impact of a single act of faith. The world wasn't just listening to Jinwoo's 9 languages, it was listening to his message. A message of hope, resilience, and the boundless potential within each and every one of us. The years continued to unfold, each one adding a new layer to Jinwoo's already impressive tapestry of accomplishments. He became a sought-after diplomat, mediating international conflicts with his unparalleled linguistic skills and his innate ability to understand and empathize with different cultures. He traveled the world, not for the glamour or the accolades, but to bridge divides and foster understanding. Min-ho watched from afar, his pride unwavering. He occasionally attended Jinwoo's public appearances, always careful to remain in the background, a silent supporter. He didn't want to overshadow Jinwoo's achievements or reignite the media frenzy that had once threatened to derail his progress. One day, Jinwoo was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize for his tireless efforts in resolving a long-standing territorial dispute between 2 warring nations. The nomination was a testament to his dedication, his unwavering commitment to peace, and his extraordinary ability to connect with people from all walks of life. Min-ho received the news with a mixture of joy and trepidation. He knew that the Nobel Prize would bring even more attention to Jinwoo, potentially exposing him to new levels of scrutiny and pressure. However, he also knew that Jinwoo was ready for it. He had grown into a confident, resilient, and compassionate leader, capable of handling any challenge that came his way. The day of the Nobel Prize ceremony arrived, and Min-ho found himself in Oslo, Norway, surrounded by dignitaries, journalists, and well-wishers from around the world. He watched as Jinwoo walked onto the stage, his head held high, his eyes shining with purpose. Jinwoo delivered a powerful and moving acceptance speech, speaking eloquently about the importance of empathy, understanding, and dialogue in resolving conflicts. He emphasized the need to transcend cultural and linguistic barriers, to see each other as human beings with shared hopes and dreams. He concluded his speech by acknowledging Min-ho, his voice filled with gratitude. "I would not be standing here today if it weren't for the unwavering support and guidance of one man," he said, his eyes searching the audience until they found Min-ho. "Lee Min-ho, you saw potential in me when I was just a young boy, a housekeeper's son who claimed to speak 9 languages. You believed in me, you mentored me, and you gave me the opportunity to pursue my dreams. I am eternally grateful for your kindness and your generosity." The camera zoomed in on Min-ho, capturing his emotional reaction. Tears streamed down his face as he listened to Jinwoo's heartfelt tribute. He had never sought recognition for his role in Jinwoo's success, but hearing his name spoken with such reverence and gratitude filled him with a profound sense of fulfillment. After the ceremony, Jinwoo approached Minho, embracing him warmly. "Thank you, sir," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "Thank you for everything." Minho smiled, his heart overflowing with pride. "You earned it, Jinwoo," he said. "You deserve all the recognition in the world." As they stood there, surrounded by a throng of well-wishers, Minho realized that their journey had come full circle. The boy who had once been a humble housekeeper's son had transformed into a global icon, a symbol of hope and inspiration for millions of people around the world. And he, the famous actor, had played a small but significant role in making it all happen. The media, of course, went wild. The story of Lee Min-ho and Kim Jinwoo was retold countless times, each version emphasizing the transformative power of kindness, mentorship, and belief. The initial skepticism and cynicism had long since faded, replaced by a genuine appreciation for the unlikely friendship that had blossomed between the two men. Min-ho, however, remained grounded. He continued to use his platform to support underprivileged children and to advocate for social justice. He established a new foundation, dedicated to promoting education and cultural understanding, inspired by Jinwoo's example. Years later, Minho received a phone call from Jinwoo. He was now the Secretary General of the United Nations, the youngest person to ever hold the position. He was calling to invite Minho to a special event at the UN headquarters in New York City. The event was a celebration of cultural diversity and linguistic understanding. Jinwoo had invited representatives from every country in the world to participate, showcasing their unique languages and traditions. During the event, Jinwoo approached the podium and addressed the audience in 9 different languages, reiterating his message of hope, resilience, and the boundless potential within each and every one of us. As he spoke, Minho couldn't help but smile. He remembered the day he had first met Jinwoo, the young boy who had boldly declared, "I speak 9 languages." He had laughed then, but he had also been intrigued. And that initial intrigue had led to a remarkable journey, a journey that had transformed both their lives and inspired countless others. The world had changed, and so had he. He had learned that true success wasn't just about achieving personal fame and fortune, it was about using your influence to make a positive impact on the world. And he had learned that even the smallest act of kindness can have a ripple effect, creating waves of change that can transform lives and communities. As Jinwoo concluded his speech, the audience erupted in applause. Minho stood and joined in the ovation, his heart overflowing with pride and gratitude. He had witnessed firsthand the power of human potential, the transformative power of belief, and the enduring impact of a single act of kindness. The story of Lee Min-ho and Kim Jinwoo became a legend, a timeless tale of hope, inspiration, and the unwavering belief in the power of human connection. It was a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always light to be found, and that even the most unlikely of friendships can change the world. And it all started with a laugh, and a boy who spoke 9 languages. The actor laughed, but was intrigued, and the world was forever changed because of it. The end. The legacy of Lee Min-ho and Kim Jinwoo continued to ripple through generations. Schools around the globe adopted programs promoting multilingualism and cultural exchange, inspired by Jinwoo's story and Minho's unwavering support. Foundations were established, scholarships were funded, and countless young people were given the opportunity to pursue their dreams, regardless of their background. Minho, though aging, remained a vibrant and influential figure. He transitioned from leading man to elder statesman, using his experience and wisdom to mentor young actors and advocate for social causes. He often spoke of Jinwoo, not just as a success story, but as a testament to the untapped potential that resides within every individual, waiting to be unlocked with a little encouragement and belief. Jinwoo, as Secretary General, faced unprecedented challenges: climate change, global pandemics, political instability. But he navigated these crises with grace and determination, drawing upon his linguistic skills, his cultural understanding, and his unwavering commitment to diplomacy. He was a bridge builder, a peacemaker, a voice for the voiceless. One particularly poignant moment came during a global summit on climate change. The negotiations had stalled, with nations deeply divided on how to address the crisis. Jean Wu, sensing the growing frustration and despair, decided to take a different approach. He stepped onto the stage and, instead of delivering a prepared speech, he began to speak in a series of indigenous languages, languages that were rarely heard on the global stage. He spoke of the connection between humanity and nature, of the importance of respecting the earth, and of the need to act urgently to protect the planet for future generations. His words, spoken in the voices of the marginalized and the forgotten, resonated deeply with the delegates. They were reminded of the human cost of climate change, of the impact on vulnerable communities, and of the shared responsibility to protect the planet. The negotiations resumed with renewed vigor, and, against all odds, a landmark agreement was reached. Jean Wu's unconventional approach, his willingness to speak truth to power, and his ability to connect with people on a human level had broken the deadlock and paved the way for a sustainable future. As the years passed, Minho's health began to decline. He spent his final days surrounded by loved ones, reminiscing about his life and his career. One of his last requests was to see Jean Wu one more time. Jean Wu, despite his demanding schedule, immediately flew to Seoul. He sat by Minho's bedside, holding his hand, and spoke to him in soft, comforting tones. "Thank you, Minho SSI," Jean Wu said, his voice thick with emotion. "Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for changing my life." Minho smiled weakly. "You changed mine too, Jean Wu," he whispered. "You showed me the true meaning of success." He closed his eyes, a peaceful expression on his face. A few moments later, he took his last breath. The world mourned the loss of Lee Min-ho, the beloved actor who had touched so many lives. But his legacy lived on, not just through his films and his philanthropy, but through the extraordinary life of Kim Jin-woo, the housekeeper's son who had become a global leader. At Minho's funeral, Jin-woo delivered a moving eulogy, recounting their unlikely friendship and the profound impact that Minho had had on his life. He spoke of Minho's kindness, his generosity, and his unwavering belief in the power of human potential. Lee Min-ho was more than just a famous actor, Jin-woo said. He was a mentor, a friend, and an inspiration. He taught me that anything is possible if you believe in yourself and if you have someone who believes in you too. He paused, his voice cracking with emotion. I will never forget him. And I will continue to honor his memory by working to make the world a better place, a world where everyone has the opportunity to reach their full potential, regardless of their background. The story of Lee Min-ho and Kim Jin-woo became a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, the human spirit can triumph. It was a testament to the power of mentorship, the importance of education, and the enduring legacy of a single act of kindness. Decades later, a young girl, the daughter of a refugee family, was working as a cleaner in a hotel in New York City. She overheard a famous actor speaking to his security detail in Korean. Summoning her courage, she approached the actor and, in fluent Korean, said, "I speak 9 languages." The actor, remembering the story of Lee Min-ho and Kim Jin-woo, smiled and said, "Really? Tell me about them." And so, the cycle began anew, the legacy of kindness and belief continuing to ripple through generations, inspiring hope and transforming lives. The end. The actor, whose name was Park Seo-joon, listened intently as the young girl, named Anya, described her linguistic abilities. He was struck by her passion and her intelligence, and he couldn't help but see a reflection of Kim Jin-woo in her bright, eager eyes. "That's incredible, Anya," Seo-joon said, genuinely impressed. 9 languages? That's a gift. Anya blushed, her eyes sparkling with pride. "Thank you, sir," she replied. I learned them from my family and from the people I've met in the refugee camps. Languages are my connection to the world. Seo Jun, deeply moved by her story, couldn't shake the feeling that he was meant to meet Anya. He remembered the countless times he had heard Lee Min-ho speak about the importance of paying it forward, of using his platform to help others achieve their dreams. Anya, he said, I want to help you. What are your dreams? What do you want to do with your life? Anya hesitated for a moment, then took a deep breath. I want to be a translator at the United Nations, she said, her voice filled with determination. I want to use my languages to help people communicate and understand each other. Seo Jun smiled. That's a wonderful dream, Anya. And I believe you can achieve it. He pulled out his phone and made a quick call. Hello, this is Park Seo Jun. I need to speak to someone at the Kim Jin-woo Foundation. Yes, it's urgent. He explained Anya's situation to the representative from the foundation, emphasizing her extraordinary linguistic abilities and her unwavering desire to make a difference in the world. The representative, familiar with the legacy of Kim Jin-woo, was immediately receptive. Within days, Anya was awarded a full scholarship to a prestigious language school in New York City. She excelled in her studies, mastering not only the technical aspects of translation but also the nuances of cultural understanding. Seo Jun, like Min-ho before him, became a mentor to Anya, providing her with guidance, support, and encouragement. He introduced her to influential figures in the diplomatic community, helping her to build connections and expand her network. Anya, inspired by the stories of Kim Jin-woo and Lee Min-ho, dedicated herself to her studies and to her dream of working at the United Nations. She volunteered at refugee centers, providing translation services and helping new arrivals navigate the complexities of American society. Years passed, and Anya blossomed into a confident, articulate, and compassionate young woman. She graduated at the top of her class and was immediately offered a position as a translator at the United Nations. Her first assignment was to assist in negotiations between two warring nations in the Middle East. The talks were tense and fraught with difficulties, but Anya's linguistic skills and her ability to build rapport with people from different cultures proved invaluable. She quickly gained the trust of both sides, helping them to overcome misunderstandings and find common ground. Her fluency in Arabic and Hebrew, combined with her deep understanding of the cultural and political complexities of the region, allowed her to bridge divides and facilitate meaningful dialogue. Anya's contributions were instrumental in reaching a historic peace agreement between the two nations. She was hailed as a hero, a symbol of hope and reconciliation in a world torn apart by conflict. Her story, like the story of Kim Jin-woo before her, captured the imagination of the world. She became a role model for young people everywhere, demonstrating that anything is possible with hard work, dedication, and the unwavering belief in the power of human connection. Seo Jun watched Anya's success with immense pride. He knew that he had played a small role in her journey, but he also knew that it was Anya's own talent, determination, and resilience that had made her dreams a reality. He continued to support Anya's work, using his platform to raise awareness about the importance of multilingualism and cultural understanding. He established a new scholarship program in Anya's name, providing opportunities for other young refugees to pursue their dreams. Anya, in turn, never forgot the kindness and generosity of Park Seo Jun. She often spoke of him in her public appearances, crediting him with giving her the opportunity to change her life and to make a difference in the world. One day, Anya received a phone call from the Secretary General of the United Nations, the position once held by Kim Jin-woo. He was calling to offer her a prestigious appointment as his special advisor on cultural diplomacy. Anya was deeply honored and accepted the position without hesitation. She knew that this was an opportunity to amplify her voice and to have an even greater impact on the world. As special advisor, Anya traveled the globe, promoting cultural exchange, fostering dialogue, and working to resolve conflicts peacefully. She became a powerful advocate for the rights of refugees and immigrants, reminding world leaders of their shared responsibility to protect the vulnerable and to create a more just and equitable world. She often spoke of the legacy of Lee Min-ho and Kim Jin-woo, reminding people that even the smallest act of kindness can have a profound impact on the lives of others. She encouraged everyone to embrace diversity, to learn new languages, and to connect with people from different cultures. Years later, Anya stood before the United Nations General Assembly, addressing the world in 9 different languages. She spoke of the challenges facing humanity, of the need for cooperation and understanding, and of the hope that lies within each and every one of us. As she spoke, Park Seo-joon watched from the gallery, his heart swelling with pride. He had witnessed firsthand the transformative power of belief, the enduring legacy of kindness, and the remarkable journey of a young girl who had dared to dream big. The story of Park Seo-joon and Anya became another chapter in the ongoing saga of Lee Min-ho and Kim Jin-woo, a testament to the enduring power of human connection and the unwavering belief in the potential of every individual. It was a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope, and that even the most unlikely of friendships can change the world. And it all started with a laugh, and a girl who spoke 9 languages. The actor laughed, but was intrigued, and the world was forever changed because of it. The end. The ripple effect continued. Anya, now a global icon, established a foundation in Seo-joon's name, dedicated to supporting arts education for underprivileged children. She understood that creativity, like language, was a powerful tool for expression and connection. The foundation funded programs in music, dance, theater, and visual arts, providing opportunities for young people to discover their talents and express themselves in meaningful ways. As Anya aged, she remained a tireless advocate for peace and understanding. She mentored countless young people, inspiring them to pursue careers in diplomacy, translation, and international relations. She traveled the world, sharing her story and spreading her message of hope and resilience. One day, while visiting a remote village in Africa, Anya met a young boy who was struggling to learn English. She sat down with him and began to teach him the basics of the language, using simple games and songs. The boy was initially shy and hesitant, but Anya's patience and encouragement soon put him at ease. He began to learn quickly, his eyes sparkling with excitement as he mastered new words and phrases. As Anya taught the boy English, she also learned about his culture and his language. She discovered that he was a gifted storyteller, with a rich oral tradition passed down through generations. Anya realized that this young boy had the potential to become a great writer, a voice for his community, and a bridge between cultures. She arranged for him to attend a boarding school in a nearby city, where he could receive a quality education and develop his writing skills. Years later, the young boy, now a successful author, published his first N. Jin-woo smiled, his eyes shining with gratitude. "I couldn't have done it without you," he said to Min-ho backstage after the speech. Min-ho placed a firm hand on the young man's shoulder. "You did the hard part. I just believed in you the way your mother always did." In that moment, the cameras disappeared. The media frenzy, the doubt, the noise, it all faded. What remained was a bond, unspoken yet unbreakable, between a boy who dared to dream and a man who helped him fly. The housekeeper, watching from the wings, wiped a tear from her eye. She had once scrubbed floors and ironed suits, unnoticed, but today, the world saw her through her son. Jin-woo went on to become one of the youngest language ambassadors in the UN. His work bridged cultures, helped mediate peace talks, and inspired a new generation of multilingual leaders. And every year, at the foundation gala funded by Min-ho, he told the same story. "One day, I told an actor I spoke 9 languages. He laughed. But he didn't walk away. He listened. And that changed my life." And somewhere in the crowd, Min-ho always sat silently, smiling, knowing that listening had been the beginning of everything.